please, I would like you to note that word problems is a very important topic. If you are going for an interview, a written test interview that involves calculation, there must be question on word problems. You are going for a test, you want to go write a test, any form of test, all right, as a form of entrance exam. Most of the questions in that text must be on word problems. You cannot escape word problems in mathematics. You want to go for a job interview and there will be a written test that has to do with mathematics in this country, word problems will come to play. Yes. Then in mathematics, all through the secondary school context, if you're going to be writing any exam, word problems will appear. Word problems will show up. So you can't avoid word problems. The only thing you need to note here is for you to just understand what it's all about. And the thing about it is know your words, understand words, understand what they mean, and then connect them to numbers, and then know how to interpret these numbers, all right, these words as numbers, as simple linear equations, and then you are good to go. You are very, 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 very good. You're just very good. All right. Okay. So let's try another question and see if we can actually interpret it perfectly. Here we go. 1/3 of a number added to 2/3 of itself is equal to 9. Find the number. 1/3 of a number added to 2/3 of itself is equal to 9. Find the number. Okay, so 1/3 of a number. Now, this number, we don't know this number. We don't have any idea of what they're talking about, what this number is. So we can just use y to represent the number. So let the unknown, let the number we're looking for be y. So now 1/3 of y will now be 1/3 times y, because 1/3 actually means 1/3. Half means 1/2. Quarter is 1/4. 2/3 means 2/3. Okay, so 1/3 of the number will now be what? 1/3 of y, which means 1/3 times y, which will now give you 1/3 times y, which will now give you y/3. Okay, now let's try 2/3 of y as well, because we're told that 1/3 of the number plus 2/3 of the number will give you 9. So let's try that out now. 2/3 of the number will now be 2/3 of y. That is 2/3 times y. That will give you 2y/3. Okay, so now this will now be the picture, the statement of that particular problem. All right, that word problem, that English problem. Let's translate it now. Let's try and interpret it now. So the interpretation of that English problem will now be y/3. Don't forget that is 1/3. Okay, y/3 plus 2y/3. Don't forget 2/3 of the number, 2y/3. So y/3 plus 2y/3 is equal to 9. Good. Now we are good to go. We are good to go. Now let's break this down. So you have y/3 plus 2y/3 is equal to 9. So you have y/3 plus 2y/3 is equal to 9. Now in this case, the LCM of your denominators in this case is 3. Now what you now do mathematically is to multiply both sides of your equation by 3. If you do that, 3 is going to cancel out at the left hand side. All right, so every expression, then we multiply by what? 3. So in other words, you have y over 3 times 3 plus 2y over 3 times 3 is equal to 9 times 3. Now, y over 3 times 3, 3 will cancel out 3, you're now left with what? Y over 1. All right, plus, now, 2y over 3 times 3, 3 will cancel out 3, you're now left with what? 2y. So it means you have y plus 2y at the left hand side. Now at the right hand side, you have 9 times 3. 9 times 3 will give you 27. So now we have y plus 2y at the left hand side of our equation, and then we have 27 at the right hand side of our equation. Now y plus 2y will give us 3y, and then 27 is still at the right hand side. Of course, we got 27 from the multiplication of 9 and 3. Now we having 3y is equal to 27. So at this point, note that the coefficient of y is 3. The coefficient of y is 3. That number 3 that is with y is the coefficient of y. That is what coefficient means. The number that is just by the side of the unknown is the coefficient. So what you now do now is to divide both sides by that number. That number is disturbing the unknown. You need to find the unknown. So you need to eliminate that number so that you can find your unknown. Without eliminating that number, you can't find your unknown. So 3 will have to divide out both sides of the equation. Remember, I've told you before that whatever you do to the left-hand side of your equation, you have to do also to the right-hand side of your equation. In this case, your 3 is going to divide both sides. 3 into 3 at the left-hand side is going to give you 1, and then you have y. So you have y now left at the left-hand side. But for your right-hand side, your 3 is going to divide out 27 and give you what? 9. So your final answer is going to be 9. So your y is going to actually be what? 9. So your final answer in this case is what? 9.